Welcome in. It's been a little while since we've been here on Talkin Track. Some little scheduling issues on my part with a new job, but here we are. It is Monday, June 13th. I'm trying to keep track of the days too. That's how messed up the schedule's been. But anyway, we are here the Monday after Sonoma, and I've got a new race winner sitting right behind me here. It's Daniel Suarez. He shook up the playoffs. He won his first career race. Will, how are you feeling about my amigo's first win?
The Amigo. Yeah. Finally, we got somebody different from Trackhouse to get the victory. As you and I know that Ross has been the boss, no doubt. His reputation precedes him. And I feel like Daniel though is just as good as a driver, but I don't know why he just had bad luck with his equipment. But finally, the race where it kind of starts to matter because like it's kind of getting down to the like the playoff wire there. Like there's a lot of people locked in for playoffs, and finally, because they said in the race, it says these first six leaders have to get a win to get into the playoffs, and who snagged that win? Mister Daniel. The
Uh,
wasn't he yeah, sorry, real quick. Wasn't he like the first one of the first five, was it one, I want to say foreigners, or to win the CASCAR Cup series in the first from Mexico?
yeah, he was the fifth
Yeah, he is.
foreign born driver to win in the Cup Series behind Mario Andretti, Earl Ross, Marcos Ambrose, someone else. I can't remember the name. Totally drawn a blank, but yeah,
But the first
first
from
first
Mexico.
Mexican driver to win in the Cup Series. Now he has wins across all three of NASCAR's main series. He won in the trucks, he won in the Xfinity, and now he's finally won in the Cup
Got the
after
cup.
195 career starts. It's a feel good story for Daniel because his career last year, or I guess before Trackhouse, his career was hanging by a thread. He was driving for Gaunt Brothers in terrible equipment, failed to make the Daytona 500 in 2020 because of the equipment, and now here he is. 2 years later, he's pretty much resurrected his career. It was a very heartwarming moment to see all the drivers passing him on the cool down lap, sticking their hands out the window, giving him a big thumbs up. Chase Elliott was bumping him down one of the straightaways at Sonoma on the cool down lap. It was just a really cool moment to see Daniel Suarez win and, all these guys congratulating him. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, you can feel it even through the screen. I can feel your love.
Oh my gosh, dude. I turned
Oh,
it
you're
on.
so happy.
I was following along. I was listening to a scanner and following along on the NASCAR app, and I saw he was ahead with 25 laps to go. And I was like, okay, maybe I should turn this on TV. But if I turn it on TV, maybe he'll have bad luck. Am I the bad luck charm? Should I not be watching? So I turned it on, and it was just, I hurt my arm actually because when he crossed the finish line, I did like a huge fist pump and I like did it way too hard, and now my arm hurts. But yeah, that's how excited I was to see him cross the finish line, and just an awesome, awesome moment.
Heck yeah, man. Unfortunately for his other teammate, we got to get into the other side. I think Daniel is loved by many in the Cup Series. But it's kind of sad. It's every man for himself. But all the love they showed him at the end there. But unfortunately for I'm just gonna put this out there now. Unfortunately for his other teammate Ross, who doesn't seem late after watch. And I haven't watched a race for so long, but I feel like he has made lots of enemies. Is it not, or is it true? Is it going to be true? But so I feel like when it comes down to playoffs, hopefully Daniel comes out on top versus Ross. But Ross has been solid this year. But yeah, I know this isn't your and Danny's moment, but I'm just putting this out right now that I think Ross is going to have it coming for a track house. But hopefully Daniel has better luck. I think Daniel is just as good as a driver, just bad luck, as we've been talking about all year long, is bad luck. Like he seems like, I watch how drivers drive. Like you got the aggressive drivers, you got more of your defensive drivers, but Daniel and Ross seem to be an all around. Well, I think Ross is more of a aggressive driver, kind of independent, take out anybody. Even like you said that he was like kind of racing Daniel there a little too hard at Sonoma, but I feel like Daniel was just kind of all around kind of guy. You saw him at Bristol Dirt, the Bristol Dirt. He was doing really well. At Dega Super Speedway, he was doing really well, but just all bad luck equipment wise. And and Circuit of the Americas, he was doing fantastic, but guess what failed? His equipment. Like I think he's actually a pretty dang good driver between the two of them. Most of the NASCAR stock car cup drivers, he's pretty good. I just feel like him and my driver Larson is just having the worst luck this year. Like you can chime in on that, but I just think he could have more wins if his equipment was a heck of a lot better. That's just my statement that way.
I definitely agree with you. Yeah. I mean, just like looking at Trackhouse as a whole, they formed a year ago. Their main goal last year was to just cross the finish line, not tear up equipment. Daniel did a good job of that last year, not tearing up equipment. And then this year, nobody expected them to have 3 wins halfway through the season. It's just incredible what Justin Marks has done with the team, with Ross winning at Circuit of the Americas and Talladega, and now Daniel Suarez finally finding victory road at Sonoma. It's a really feel good story, and it doesn't seem like the underdog label that they had fits them anymore. They seem like contenders all of a sudden. And like I said at the top of the show, Daniel's win really shook up the playoffs, and there's only four spots left. And right now, Eric Almirola holds the last one by 7 points over Tyler Reddick. Or no, not Tyler Reddick, Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick, yeah. Was Harvick doesn't have him. Harvick was doing pretty good there, like with 40 laps to go. He kind of had a bad pit. He had I don't know what happened during his pit stop. I know you mentioned that he had a long pit stop. And Elliott, it's kind of good for him. By the way, I usually kind of chime this in there, but racetracks, so we had Sonoma this weekend, and for people who don't know, yeah, sorry, I got to do this. I haven't done this. Sonoma is a road course. It's not your typical oval short track. It's a road course. You have rights, lefts, sharp turns, hairpin turns, but same thing. I'm gonna go back to Road Americas when I said Daniel has bad luck. His power steering ended up going down Circuit of the Americas, and he had the fastest car at Circuit of the Americas, but finally. And you mentioned this, that he would win Sonoma if everything went right. And I guess for once in our lives, it went right. So yeah, Sonoma was the race course. It's not a race course, it's a road course, and hard to pass. Really, that's kind of, I wouldn't say it's boring, but it's kind of nice to see like road courses. They get a break from the left turn for a while, but but yeah, but the only thing that stinks, so it's boring. The boring part is nobody can really pass. It's kind of fall leader. There might be a few, because there was like 6 lead changes through the whole race, 7.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot, and that's part of it. Was kind of the same problem at Coda, where there wasn't, like, the only chance you had to pass was on the restarts, and so many times the leader would just get a
Yeah.
better jump than everybody else, and no one else could pass him. You mentioned Harvick. He had a really bad pit stop, and he had some really, really funny things to say about his pit crew. 2 different quotes I heard from him on Twitter yesterday. I swear to God, we look like the biggest bunch of fill in the blank wankers every week on pit road. I mean, he was so frustrated with his pit crew. And then another one that I saw was, we're good for about 1 or 2 catastrophic failures on pit road at least once a week. So he is big time upset with his pit crew right now, and I can't blame him. He had one of the best cars yesterday, him and Chase Elliott both. And you mentioned Elliott, and he was leading towards the end of stage 1, or stage 2 rather, and he was penalized because his pit crew didn't get a lug fastened. He had a loose, the one lug. If it's
Backed
not
up.
if it's not tight, it's loose. If the one lug is not tight, you have a loose wheel. So they realized this right away. They had him back up, and he ended up putting outside of his box. So he had to drop to the tail end of the field. And those two, Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott, I thought had the best cars this weekend. Daniel Suarez just capitalized on their misfortune.
Yeah, Jay, I don't know if you caught his headset where they put the wheel on. They're like, go, 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 go. They're like, wait. He stops. He goes, back. And he backs up. And then they get the other dude do his wheel. But that was unfortunate. But Yeah, he didn't really catch up there. Like I said, Sonoma's very hard to pass because I know I only caught a little bit of it, and I saw that Elliott was only like in 23rd, I think, but it was
He ended up making a really nice climb back. He ended up finishing eighth. So he moved
oh,
from,
really.
he moved from 34th to eighth over the course of 40 laps, the last stage. And unfortunately, his loose wheel was not the only one that Hendrick Motorsports had
Mm,
this week, as Kyle
yeah,
Larson,
guess who's staying in wine country?
yeah, Cliff Daniels, crew
Cliff
chief of the
Daniels.
number 5 team, he's going to be suspended for 4 races, as well as a tire changer. Just more, you mentioned bad luck for Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
He lost the wheel, and that's an automatic 4 race suspension for your pit crew chief. So
Hmm.
one of the things I
Yeah.
saw yesterday about that with Cliff Daniels getting suspended was maybe Chad Knaus fills in for him, which would be pretty cool to see. Chad Knaus, he was the crew chief for Jimmy Johnson during all 7 of his championship campaigns.
Yeah.
And, if he teams up with Kyle Larson, I could see them winning some races.
Yeah, I think so. I just don't know. I feel like I wouldn't say he has any like good strategy, but I feel like some teams like on a super speedway, when you don't really I don't want to say really pass, but I feel like he's just well, he did all right. But I don't know if it was his crew chief that told him or a spotter that told him to cut over at the last minute. I think he would have won. Or no, I think I think we talked about this. I think Truex and uh
Was it Kurt Busch?
yeah, Kurt Busch they were coming up. I think he went and go throw on the block, but I thought maybe like was it Jones?
Yeah, Eric Jones.
Yeah, Eric Jones would have thrown the block on him, but Larson apparently threw the block on
It was Kurt Busch.
yeah, Kurt Busch, and he took out Bubba, but I think he literally could have like had it there maybe on that final thing if he just gunned it out. Ross maybe could have pushed him. I don't know for the win, but anyway, yeah. Larson's bad luck, and the last race I watched was Darlington. That's when he had bad luck again. I think he was running scary well. That was what the throwbacks were. Real quickly, I want to do what was your favorite throwback, but real quick, but before we do that, yeah, like starting to talking about his bad luck. I think he ended up spinning. He was all alone, way ahead. I don't know if you remember watching that, but he was way ahead. Ended up taking himself out. They're talking about like the first turn 1, turn 2, like were really like sharp or really slippery or something like that. Ended up spinning. And what happened was when he went backwards, his tires started. Supposedly his tires were going backwards while he was sliding,
Oh,
and it
really?
says that's what caused his engine to blow was because the engine basically ran backwards. If that makes sense, like an
Jeez.
engine is not supposed to run backwards. So when his tires were going backwards, his transmission was rolling backwards, and it spun the motor backwards, causing his whole car just to crap.
Holy crap.
But yeah, that's why he was out during Darlington there. Like I was actually going to start a new thing. Like when they was it DNF, that's when they like go out.
Yeah, don't finish. Do not finish.
Did not finish. I was going to call that milk and cookie time. So it's like there's a bunch of drivers that went in for milk and cookies, like Truex, like his he was upset there. I like his fire suit, like with the mint chip green on there, and I was like, Truex is going in for some milk and cookies. Someone's gonna have to tow his car back to the garage. But yeah, that's completely past us. But it's been a while, and schedules, conflicts, and working. Yeah. But yeah, this is all you, Miss Sonoma. Very good. I just trying to catch up a little bit here. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
real quick here. What was your favorite throwback? Who or what car was your favorite? We're talking. I think you were talking about Corey LaJoie's.
yeah, he had the 777. I really like that. It was
Triple
pink and yellow 777s.
If I'm gonna be honest with you, I liked Ross and Daniels. What was it? The Cokes and the Dale, or was it Coke?
Yeah, it was Coca-Cola, and it was
Yeah,
Dale
Coca
Jr. and
Cola.
Dale Sr.
Dale
from a
Jr., Dale
race they
Sr.
ran in Japan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them too, and Corey LaJoie my third. I did actually like that 777 car. So yeah, we gotta yeah we were talking about that a long time ago, so we gotta get that out of the way. But okay, now back to the present.
Yeah,
But
back to Sonoma. We talked a little bit about, you know, Trackhouse. We talked about Hendrick.
mm,
The Fords were they finished very surprisingly. Chris Buescher, Michael McDowell
yeah,
second and third, Kevin Harvick
Cindric.
fourth, Cindric was fifth, Blaney was up there. Um, And where were the Toyotas at the Toyota Save Mart 350? Clear back in 18th and worse. Kurt Busch was the best finishing Toyota, and he finished 18th.
Ooh. Especially Hamlin. I'm surprised Hamlin. Well, Hamlin hasn't been very good at Hamlin's not good at road courses, I don't think, unless I'm completely wrong. But if I'm wrong, he hasn't proven it to me. But I feel like just the short tracks and stuff. But Hamlin, I feel like Hamlin's going to be good. I don't know why I keep thinking, like, when I think of playoff winner, I'm thinking Hamlin.
He has 2 wins. The 2 wins that he have, Richmond and Charlotte. He won at Richmond and Charlotte. And those 2 wins are the only 2 top 5s he has this year. So he's trying, he's sitting good in the playoff standings, but in the regular point standings,
he's never good.
No, he's sitting in like 20th. So
Yeah. I don't know. It's like I said, it's any man goes with these cars and tires. Oh my god, back to tires. We got to do the tires. Kansas, you see the horrific and horrendous what Kansas City was with the tires?
No, that's one I turned off early because Suarez blew a tire. He blew a tire.
It
And go
wasn't the
figure.
only one. I think they had about 13 tires on different cars. I know it could have been more than that. I don't remember, but I know I think I might have told you, like Elliott's car completely lost like the whole rubber. The rim was still attached. It didn't even blow. The rubber kit just melted right off the rim. It was bad. And then lug trouble. Oh god, who was it? I don't even remember. It was like literally a half an hour. Like the lug was welded. Like I remember they're talking about because the hubs are steel and the lug nuts are aluminum, which means if they over tighten them, they weld themselves to the hub, and they literally had to cut around that whole alloy. I don't know. Did you see that?
I think it was Eric Jones.
It was Eric Jones. They literally had to cut the whole alloy rim with a freaking buzzsaw. They had to go back and find a buzzsaw. They're taking their sweet time with that. They have one of their big crew members, he was got big guns and stuff, and he had that breaker bar, and he was trying to get the thing to come off. That wasn't working, so they had to go get a big buzzsaw, and they were just cutting the alloy rim around that. Yeah, I think he was done for the day. He was so many laps down. It was bad. But anyway, Kansas City was not as good as when I last saw it. I mean, it was kind of funny because I knew these tires sucked, but I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened, but
yeah.
Anyway, but
that's gonna be one of the things that NASCAR is more than likely gonna have to take a look at in the off season. How to make this formula for the new tires better. I get that they're thinner tires. They're on a bigger rim, the 18-inch rim. There's not as much tire as there was in previous years, and we've had so many races that have had so many problems with them that it's just unavoidable. They have to look at it and make a decision whether or not they want to fix it or leave it as it is.
Well, I don't know, because we talked about this today, we're talking about tires, leveling the playing field and stuff like that, but I feel like it just happens too much. I don't know.
It definitely does. The blown tires that's a little ridiculous.
It stinks for the best of the best, like I always talked about, Larson has the skill of a top 10 driver, but there's how many races this year he hasn't finished, 4 or 5 now.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the tires blow or they skid out. I don't know what the deal is, but just a lot of the good drivers, I wouldn't say some of the bad drivers. I mean, there's still drivers that still haven't like Cody Ware. I want to say Cody Ware. Actually, no. I think every Josh Bilicki and stuff like him. I don't know. Maybe it's just equipment, but I feel like you got the gods, the old guys up ahead, and then they blow tires, and then some random rookie with 0 experience or something. I wouldn't say there is any rookies, but you know what I mean. Right. Christopher Bell could be running a good race, and he blows a tire, and then the cars don't drive back. They got to bring out the hauler and then you are so down, like it's just so screwed. They go out for no reason. I don't know why. It's like, oh, you got to change up your driving style. It's like, why be more cautious? I just don't know. It's a good and a bad thing. Like people are winning that usually don't win, but I don't know. But a lot of like good people, like a lot of like the good drivers and stuff, like have blown tires. Like Larson's young, but he won a bunch last year, but he's just blowing them and blowing engines left and right, you know. But
Yeah, you talk about guys who don't normally win. We've had 4 first-time winners, and I'm looking at the playoff leaderboard here on my phone now. Ross Chastain and William Byron are tied for first in the playoffs right now. Joey Logano has 2 wins, and Denny Hamlin has 2 wins. Chase Elliott's in fifth. Kyle Larson, Daniel Suarez, and Kurt Busch are all tied for sixth. And then Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, Chase Briscoe, and Austin Cindric are all tied for those last 9 through 12. And then, you look at guys, Cindric, Briscoe, Suarez, and Chastain, those guys are all first-time winners. And I think right now it's only a matter of time before Tyler Reddick gets his.
yeah, oh God, Reddick, don't get me started on Reddick. Poor fella.
He should already have one at Bristol Dirt. Thanks,
Yeah.
Chase Briscoe, for that one. That one should have been Reddick's.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna have a little Ty Gibbs and I don't even remember what the other
Sam
guy
Mayer.
was. Sam Mayer. Except they both took their helmets off, whether they're gonna brawl or not. But he was a gentleman. But that's the thing, like it's kind of what's good or bad. Either you get in a fight and get fined, or don't seem soft where people walk on. I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have killed him.
You're talking about fines now. It hasn't been announced yet, but Daniel Suarez might.
Spoiler alert.
He may have said a no word in his post race interview. He smashed the taco pinata. He punched it, and he was he's just overwhelmed with emotion, and he may have dropped an F-bomb on national TV. So his accent's so thick. I missed it at first. I had to look at Katie. We were watching it together, and I said, "Did he just drop an F-bomb on live TV?" And she said, "Yeah, he did." And then right away he said, I'm sorry for what I just said. So I'm guessing there's more than likely a fine coming his way for that one.
Well, it's not as funny as the sensitivity training, but Hamlin. Oh God, I don't want to get back into that, but yeah, accidental. But he must cuss like a sailor. Did he like try to punch like the taco and it didn't break? Was that what he said the F-bomb to?
No, he had like the group of Daniel's amigos. They were all wearing the amigos shirts, and they were all sitting together in the stands. And he talked to him a little bit in Spanish, and then he said "F yeah," just because he was excited.
Oh, okay. No, that makes sense.
It wasn't like he was swearing at somebody, but he was just excited. I don't blame him. I'd have done the same thing, I think. I did do the same thing when he won.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I don't blame him. That's kind of to be expected. I wouldn't know. You don't have to drop the F-bomb, but yeah, it's definitely not as like bad as the Hamlin situation, but that was kind of like funny, and I wouldn't say not funny, like not the race part of it, but just
it's
like
funny because him and Larson are friends. They like each other, and
then the
Larson knew it wasn't a jab at his race,
but the people who like would take it beyond what it should be.
Exactly.
Like, took it beyond what it should be. The NASCAR took action, without them trying to get lawsuits on it. But yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, that's the funny part, because Larson did the exact. It wasn't not the race part. He just did exactly what the clip did. But
right.
Yeah, that's what funny is about it. But then you got all the people who thought it
just blew it way out of proportion. Is all
blew it out of proportion. They had to take sensitivity training.
And like you said, I'm not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole for the rest of these podcast episodes.
No, but you like that's why I said the best thing I actually said is funny. But that was the funny part was right.
What I mean?
But yeah, the sensitivity training that was. Yep, cannot race again until he passes. But yeah, he's passed. He's racing. Right, we're all good.
Right.
Yeah, I hate getting off topic, because I haven't watched much to this race for the last like 5 weeks. So I'm been going all over the place tonight. I usually kind of have myself a format here, but
Well, I think we can get back into our little format with some awards to give out.
mm-hmm.
You got any cold beers for anybody?
Well, not any of the Hendrix boys. Oh man, I know you weren't gonna go.
Mine is I think I've got two cold beers, and I think I've got a way around it too.
I'm just gonna keep it simple this week. I'm gonna go Daniel because, yeah. But the real winners here is Larson's pit crew. They're gonna stay in wine country and test some wine for 4 weeks. I
Yeah,
would love to be.
They get a glass of wine instead of the cold beer.
I thought maybe they hit the Bahamas, but you said no, they're staying in wine country. I'm like, well, that's good enough for me. So I bet they're enjoying themselves. So, but I'll let Daniel enjoy himself. So he's gonna get my cold beer. Might not be a Bud, but maybe a Modelo.
Yeah. See,
that's
how I was gonna work my way around mine. I have the cold cerveza
Ooh.
frio. I learned a little bit of Spanish in high school, but the cerveza frio, the cold beer. Daniel Suarez win numero uno. Just a big moment for him. Watching him get choked up in his interview is it's just too awesome to not give him a tip of the cap. And then
exactly.
There was a lot of guys that could have gotten cold beers, like Chris Buescher with a second place.
Oh yeah,
Michael McDowell with a third place. My second one, I'm gonna give it to AJ Allmendinger for keeping the race green with 2 laps to go, because at that point Daniel Suarez had like a 5-second lead on Chris Buescher, and I see the camera cut to AJ Allmendinger in the grass, and I'm like,
no, this is kind of like.
I said, don't you throw that yellow flag. Do not do that. And they didn't. He got it rolling. I was like, oh my gosh, if they would have thrown that yellow flag, I would have been so mad. But
it's like the NFL, like right in the minute he goes out, they all put their hand on the flag, getting ready to toss that bad boy. But yeah, he just got the heck out of there. But absolutely. Yeah, luckily that's what happened. I don't remember if it was like another race. I feel like, like Larson, for example, was doing so good. I think it was like Dega and stuff before like pit stops. Like anything bad happened. Like every time I swear he was getting ahead. Like yes, like clearing things. Something happened. Then it'd be a caution. Then it was back to the restart again. Like right. Like restarts are exciting, but when your driver's in first place, you don't want them stupid.
You either want the white flag or the rain to come, for crying out loud.
Yeah, you're hoping the rain would. They would not cancel. I'm glad
that was Bristol dirt, and I thought Daniel was gonna win on rain.
Yeah, but I'm glad that was my first Bristol dirt I've watched, and a lot of rain delay there, but it was fun watching it, especially on wet dirt. It was really interesting. Like it changed. It was a challenge for the best of the best, and Kyle Busch backed into that one.
Yeah, he stole that one. Holy crap!
He stole that one. And then you didn't know it, but I caught you off guard that one time when I said Ross kind of sniped Dega.
Yeah, he did.
Whatever the heck Larson and Jones were pulling. I don't know if they're both just thinking blocks on him. Whoever told them just to scoot over. Because I don't know if it was like there, but all Ross did, he didn't even move. He just
drove straight.
Drove straight. That's what I'm feeling like. I was kind of mad about. I was hoping like maybe Ross would just push Larson for the win, like get past Jones, like maybe they could get, because I know like it's that little bit of that final dip before it was kind of like almost a straightaway to the flag, like like Ross.
Right, the tri-oval.
Yeah, the tri-oval. I'd have kind of wished that Larson could have stayed there and maybe Ross would just push him, because he was Larson was getting pushed all day. He wouldn't have wrecked.
Yeah, if Larson would have stayed put there, he would have won that race.
I would have think so. Even like with Kurt, but Kurt and Truex like coming up, like I feel like with Ross and Ross and Larson being there, they could have gotten they were enough ahead that they could have gotten at least some momentum together and won that one. But to each his own, whatever move he threw. But yeah, back, I get really off topic, but Ross basically we wouldn't say he snuck into that one. He
Yeah,
didn't even do.
it looked like he stole that one, but that's how Dega is anymore.
They just made it complicated. Ross
Yeah,
kept it simple.
exactly. Keep it simple, stupid.
You betcha. Why go beyond that?
I think
Anyways,
there's only one clear cut winner for our pacifier award, and it's Kevin Harvick. I talked about what he said about his pit crew, and he always does this. He always, I've heard this on like the Radioactive on YouTube about how Kevin Harvick yells at his pit crew all the time, and this week was no different. This week they did kind of cost him a win though, so I don't blame him for being pissed.
yeah, I don't know how was Elliott. I bet Elliott was pretty irritated.
I
But
didn't hear he wasn't as vocal about it as
he wasn't
Harvick was.
vocal. Yeah, I kind of I'll respect Elliott there for kind of keeping to himself a little bit,
Right.
But yeah, I don't know anybody else. Maybe Larson's pit crew.
Maybe the Toyotas.
Yeah, how about let's do Toyotas.
The Toyotas, that's the less obvious one because all of them were terrible yesterday.
Yeah, so I highly doubt Larson's crew chief's gonna be mad that he's in wine. He's gonna enjoy wine country. So yeah, I'm gonna throw that pacifier at the Toyotas. Let's do that.
They can keep it for this week.
How about Joe Gibbs?
Yep, Joe Gibbs. All of his drivers kind of stunk it up yesterday. So
23-11.
23-11. Kurt Busch had the best finish of the Toyotas.
That's true, but
18th.
It still wasn't 18.
Wasn't even in the top 15.
No, it wasn't, unfortunately. But yeah, so yeah, hopefully we could get back on schedule and everything because this is fun. Yeah, I just feel bad. Like I've been jumping all over tonight just because we haven't.
It's been a little while. We're both getting back in the groove.
Like nothing's changed much for me. It's just been busy time of year, getting outside and doing all stuff. But yeah, hopefully we can get the schedule back rolling again and we can come up with a day because I miss doing this. So this is fun. Makes me sound smart.
Yeah. Well, now that you're saying we're gonna have a nice set schedule, we have an off weekend next week, so maybe we'll come up with a little one-off episode talking about this and that, and
maybe some predictions unless you hear any NASCAR news, like how we came up with the sensitivity training during the day. We got that just like an hour before we decided to record our episode.
Yeah, any breaking news we might report on. But after this weekend, they go to Nashville Super Speedway. It's a 1.3 mile super speedway package track. It's going to be a lot like Atlanta. I'm excited for that one because Atlanta was awesome.
Oh yeah, especially new repaved and yeah. Then we got my favorite one is Road America.
Yep, Road America right after
3 weeks. Yeah, because they're taking a break next week.
July 3rd.
July 3rd. Yep, Darren. Yep, that's gonna be a good one. I don't know who's gonna win, but like I said, I'm gonna go Trackhouse maybe because apparently they've proven themselves on this is the second road course, right?
Yep, they're 2 for 2. One at Coda, one at Sonoma.
Yep. Then I don't know what the difference. Road America is a little bit shorter, isn't it? Or Sonoma shorter? I don't know. Really about the
Road America is the longest track on the circuit, I believe.
Oh, really? I thought Circuit Americas would have been. Maybe not.
It's one of those two for sure.
Yeah, but yeah. I'd say let's see what Trackhouse does. I mean, if we're gonna have any, Nashville's next week. I don't know if I have any predictions for that. I really don't know who really wins that.
Yeah, last year was the first time they ran at Nashville, and I want to say Kyle Larson won it, but I could be wrong on that.
Possibly. But if we don't get to Nashville, my prediction for Road America is gonna be somebody in Trackhouse if they're.
I hope it's the 99, dude.
Yeah, me too. Because I like Danny. I think Ross is just kind of, I wouldn't say he's arrogant, but just too consistent. Like I just don't like Ross. Like I don't know. Like I like Daniel because he's so easy. He's so easygoing.
He's very likable. That's a big part of why I like him is because he's just got a good personality, and to see him finally win was awesome.
Yeah, but I don't know. Ross kind of reminds me of Earnhardt Sr. a little bit. You kind of get what I'm talking about. Just kind of like every man, or, kind of every man for himself. Like I am my own. I'm not out here to make friends.
Right.
Yeah,
and he hasn't made any friends.
No. But let's see if he can keep that reputation though. Like Dale was aggressive. Like never really spun out a whole lot. Like Dale was really aggressive, legendary, and But I don't know if that's what Ross is trying to be, but Ross has been solid.
He's
But
been
I feel
very
like,
consistent, and I don't have a problem with him winning anymore now that Daniel's finally got one.
yeah, but I feel like he's starting to stick, especially with these tires and cars like getting.
Yeah, I mean Ross, he's it's just so he is a lot like Earnhardt, I believe, and uh, it's I think it's eventually going to come back to bite him in the ass,
I
but
think, but yeah, no,
it's just a matter of time as when.
yeah. Well, like I was just saying, like just way these new cars, they don't handle very well. Like you know what I mean, the tires. That I feel like he's like just has. I don't know, like he could easily get him. Well, he seems like he's pretty good at recovering. Like like AJ Allmendinger and Bowman were racing him the last lap of America, and he never gave up. Like he even took out AJ.
Yeah, he
But I feel
dumped
like,
AJ, but AJ
but I
had
feel like,
bumped him before, so
yeah, I guess. But I feel like he's gonna piss off the wrong guy, and he's not making any friends. Like just the way like they could retaliate. Like Elliott and Hamlin were trying to retaliate him on the same lap. I don't know. I
yeah,
didn't see what he totally
and
did, but
and if you mess with the sport's most popular driver in Chase Elliott, fans are going to start to catch on and they're going to start to hate you.
yeah, I think Elliott's overrated. But anyway,
He is, but he's the most like he wins the most popular driver award every year.
yeah. But anyway, yeah. That's just I don't know. Yeah, Ross is all right, but I just feel like just he's just making too many drivers mad. I feel like he's like I think he just has it coming. No offense.
Yeah, we'll have to find out here. We'll see you guys possibly next week with a one-off episode. If not, we will see you after Nashville to provide the breakdown for that
Road.
race and give
You betcha.
predictions into Will's Road America. And once
Yes.
again, we're talking tracks back, baby. Welcome
Oh yeah,
back.
back.
Thank you guys all for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.